All right, so we're here at the studio, presented from the H Bar Foundation, sporting crypto's fifth social night here in New York City. It's great to be with you, Michael Rippey, and I'm joined by Head of Strategy and Partnerships. Sam is in the house. Sam, what's going on?
Hey, good to be here. Thanks
It
for
is
having
good to
me.
be here. It's nice. There's a big crowd on hand. Let's dive into you. We're going to talk a little bit of sports, maybe gaming, crypto. Uh, what's your start with crypto in general, and how do you end up at Horizon?
Yeah. So I spent pretty much my whole career in gaming. Used to run a company called Super Data Research, which focused on business intelligence, consumer insights on digital games, esports, gaming video content, the whole space. So I come from that lens of gaming. And when Web3, crypto, particularly NFTs started to come into play, it was I want to sell digital assets using digital currency to a digital audience. That's gaming. I don't care if it's a PFP or a loyalty program, whatever it is, it's basically gaming. And so that world felt very natural to me. So I came into Web3 first at Animoca. I was brought in to run one of their subsidiaries. Spent some time then kind of building something myself, and then joined Horizon about 4.5 months ago. Um, Incredible team, incredible tech. It's the kind of thing where, particularly when I was building at Animoca, I was just like, holy shit, if this had existed, my life would have been much easier. And yeah,
All right,
good
so
to
you
be there.
said incredible team, incredible tech. What's the incredible tech part? Describe that, because someone's
Yeah,
listening to this, they go, "Okay, incredible tech."
what's going on there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's the incredible tech part?
So the story of Horizon, company was founded in 2017, so pretty OG in the Web3 world. Started by building a game. They built a game called Skyweaver, which is a pretty awesome collectible card game. It was named 2022's best blockchain game. And in building the game that they wanted to do, which was like just build a good game, they had to build all the tech in-house because nothing out there would let them create the game and the consumer journey, the player journey in the way that they wanted. So that became Sequence, which is full stack Web3 dev platform. And because it was born out of powering a game, it's gaming grade tech. So it's really meant to be everything the developer needs end to end for what they want to create. That means wallets, marketplaces, indexer, relay, node gateway, SDKs for Unity, Unreal, mobile, uh, particularly focused on this idea of reducing the fragmentation in building in Web3, which tends to lead to a lot of game breaking dependencies. And it's also just not how people build, not only in gaming, but just experiences in general. No one's like, oh, I found this one niche like account creation tool somewhere, and I just hope it works with the rest of my stack. So the thing I say to devs all the time is like, you don't build half a game on Unity and half of it on Unreal and just hope for the best. And so you need something that sits side by side with that engine that takes you through the entire developer series of needs.
And so that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And so the future of Web3 gaming is what?
Future of Web3 gaming is honestly whatever people want it to be. When I talk to devs about what Web3 means for games, I say it's as mundane as a database, or it could be something that creates, genre net new interaction and mechanics. And so I think developers are going to use it in different ways in the same way that developers have used everything, every innovation in gaming in different ways, whether that's free to play or anything else. Um, what I think it means is we're opening up new opportunity, new categories of players, new categories of gameplay. We already see Web3 games have significant performance improvements relative to Web 2 versions of the same titles when it comes to key metrics like how much people are spending, how much they're converting to actually spend. And that's for a number of reasons, but obviously secondary marketplaces is a big component to it.
I always think about Web3 gaming and then just general gaming, and I hear this often about in-game assets and the ownership of them. Is that what is going to set Web3 gaming up for large success? And by that I mean kind of mass adoption. I mean, we hear those words a lot, but when you drill down on it, what is it that is kind of preventing more people from being involved with Web3 gaming today, and how do we change that?
Yeah. So I think gaming kind of over focus on this idea of ownership, or Web3 gaming over focus on this idea of ownership, because it's not necessarily true. Like, yes, I can own this sword that I bought, but the game could shut down at any point, and that sword is completely useless. I have no reason to think that anyone else is gonna breathe new life or utility or value into that asset. So instead, what I think, of course, it needs to be this two-way interaction between the developer and the player. This isn't the players taking ownership and everything away from developers, because they're not going to make games. So it needs to be about developers saying, hey, we're creating this experience for you. It has the potential for maybe secondary trading, maybe some expanded utility or interoperability. And for those gamers that are interested in engaging with that, there's an easy way to do it because it's being done by the chain. And so secondary trading has existed in games forever, sometimes less officially than others. I'll, sell you my account on the black market and you have my login and it's all leveled up, and that's great. There's obviously no trust in that transaction, and I hope that you Venmo me. But even formally, Rocket League just shut down secondary trading for their game, and every Web2 gamer who supposedly hate NFTs and Web3 freaked out, and they were trying to boycott the game and really stick it to Psionics. So obviously that's something that Web3 allows for, but it puts Psionics or a developer in the position of offering it to players in a way that makes sense for them. Because, hey, now this is something that they potentially can make money off of, but it's also just a tech solution. Part of the issue is handling all these peer-to-peer transactions in a Web2 sense is really taxing on servers. And so Psionics is probably I don't really want to do this unless it's working out for me in some way. Obviously, the blockchain negates that need because it's happening peer-to-peer, not on a server that the game needs to run. So that's why I say for devs, it's if you just want it to handle things that you don't want to deal with, like money transmitter licenses and server infrastructure, it can do that. But if you want to have someone run around the open internet with the sword that you created that can do things in partners' ecosystems, that sounds pretty cool too.
All right, gaming. What about you personally? Some of your favorite games are?
Oh man, Red Dead, The Sims, early Call of Duties, Battlefield, a lot of indie titles. I'm playing the new Alan Wake 2, which is fucking terrifying. Yeah, I've got a pretty diverse range of favorites.
It sounds like I heard a Sims in there.
Yeah.
You like to grow them and...
Oh, well, grow them, kill them. I had a...
Kill them?
It
sounds...
Well, yeah. Well, I had to have, especially Halloween time, I had my Keeper of the Dead family, so you'd have to move in these families of 8 and just get creative with how you killed them, and then you have all these tombstones, and it's haunted 24/7. It's pretty cool.
Do you have a favorite platform?
I mostly play on PlayStation these days.
The new one?
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
You think it's the best one out there?
It's where my friends are.
Okay.
It's where my games are.
Yeah.
Happy with it.
Blockchain. We touched on the gaming a little now. Blockchain in general. I like to ask this because this is sporting crypto. Everything around crypto is always hot, cold. It depends the day, the month, the location. Where do you see, your experience? How do you feel when you think about crypto in the future? Are you a believer that people are coming? Are people going? Where are we?
People are absolutely coming, but I think, to your point, it's hot and cold often because of purely speculative reasons. Over the past couple of days, tokens were starting to rally and everyone's crypto's back. It's not fucking back. There's no content. If there's not new content, then this is nothing more than a stock fluctuation. And who cares about that? It doesn't have anything to do with the fundamental value of what the blockchain's doing. So it's absolutely coming. I think it's coming through things like gaming, things like sports, things where people have such hardcore fandom that they want to experience something very particular. And so the space needs to sort of move away from this sense that crypto is tied to content, or that blockchain is the same thing as Web3. And obviously, we use a lot of these terms, kind of interchangeably. But at the end of the day, people are just like, where is the cool thing for me? And I think sports are really interesting for that, because when I think about sports, we're obviously talking about a super vast network of disparate teams, leagues, athletes that have no kind of commonalities other than maybe the league that they play in, right? So everything's super fragmented, but you look at your average fan, they're probably a fan of a couple different things. Like they're maybe more than one team, more than one league. Then we also have all the different components of it. So there's merch, there's ticketing, there's licensed games, there are the physical games themselves. Like the sports world is pretty infinite, kind of in the same way that gaming is pretty infinite. And that's where I think the blockchain becomes so valuable, because how do we have a common language for people to collaborate or do something new, as opposed to what we've been stuck with for the past several decades, which is these Web 2 accounts and servers that can't talk to each other.
Yeah, I like that. It makes a lot of sense. All right, we got just another minute or so, and I want to just get your thoughts on Horizon's future. We're here to talk a little bit about Horizon. So what does it look like next year? Anything to be very excited about? What are you personally excited about? Let us know so that we can be excited as well.
Yeah, definitely. So we're launching a number of incredible things actually in the next week, taking the entire stack no code. So even a non-technical doofus like me, I can launch a marketplace in about 60 seconds. I can integrate Web3 into any game in a couple of minutes. And we're doing that with gaming, with brands, with sports leagues and teams, with media companies. And what I'm really excited for are not only the games that we power that are already out in the world continuing to scale, but some of the things that we have in the pipe, games and other experiences that we're helping power launch, because I think we're very close to the inflection point where everyone's in Web3 and they don't really know.
It's a great way to end it. We're very close to the inflection point where everyone is in Web3. I'm here for that future becoming the present.
Yeah.
That was Sam from Horizon, Head of Strategy and Partnerships. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.